Hello and welcome back to Tabletop Dubshot, a live action role playing game with all baristas. I'm Renee, your dungeon master, and with me is Bela,
Val.
PE,
Boka.
and Jordan.
Years.
Last we left off our heroes deep in the mines by Lake Elder, right as they are about to grab this floating jewel. They see above them this giant spider make its way down, and our friends face off in deadly combat in these mines. After Cavino drops not once, but twice, our heroes are finally able to take the upper hand and finally defeat the Broodmother. Finally defeating the Broodmother, they grab the jewel and have to make a quick escape as the mine starts collapsing around them. After a few very close checks, they're finally able to make their way out of the mine, and that is where we are now.
Oh, man. That sucked.
Yeah.
That's pretty okay.
It was pretty okay. I was stuck in a web. What do you mean it was pretty okay?
Cavino's holding the wound in his body. Yeah. What
I mean, it wasn't a good time, but we all did make it out.
Did we die though?
Cavino gets a faraway look.
I think he did. Did he not?
Almost.
Just a little blackout, you know.
Oh my
Oop.
god.
Catriona speaks up a little bit and just says, "Yeah, you guys seem great, but I think the amount of times that I've almost died since traveling with you guys has increased exponentially."
What is that? Twice in 2 days?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Once a day?
Yeah,
It's
but
only-
you've also
only one.
survived with us
Twice.
twice in 2 days.
Talia, as you say that, Talia's like, Lady Atia was just watching over us.
Mhm.
I look at Talia and don't say anything.
Well, Cavino speaks up. Well, we did it. We got what we needed to get, right?
I turned to look at Val because I think I remember seeing you slip the jewel into the bag, Cavino's bag.
We got it, but do we know if this is what is this it? Is this what we need?
Do we have to go back?
No, we don't have to go back.
I mean, Cavino looks and he's like, I mean, if we need to, I think we can make our way back. And immediately the rope that was on the elevator just snaps, and as it goes down the shaft, there's just a moment of silence, and then, okay, it might be a little harder to get back down there.
I don't.
I think we're good. I think if you got the thing,
Yeah.
I think we're good.
But is the thing we need?
We don't know
I
that.
mean, we can take a look at it. I mean, you already grabbed it, so.
Yeah.
I have a question. These spiders, they can climb pretty good, right?
I mean, probably.
Should we just try
Yes.
to deal
Yes.
with this opening real quick?
I mean,
What?
the inside's collapsed at this point, so.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I look down. Do I see the bottom? Can I see whether or not the entire cavern has collapsed?
Go ahead and make a perception check. And you can go ahead and do it with advantage as you have Cavino giving you the help action.
Nice. 13 on the first one. Nice. Dirty 20.
Cavino lights a torch quickly and just drops it. And originally it was like this drop of, a few hundred feet. You see that as it falls, it still falls for a good amount, but now it falls maybe 150 feet. And then it lands on the remnants of the collapsed mine as there's rocks and bits of that landscape that have filled in a portion of the mine.
Yeah. I tap the side of the shaft. I go, yep. That's not going anywhere.
You feel the ground below you just shake a little bit. Cat's like, I'm going to step away. I'm going to.
I do that thing in Tom and Jerry where Tom moves with just his toes, but backwards.
Ew.
Yeah. I have the visual in my head. I didn't love it, but I do
don't
have
like
the visual.
that. That's almost worse than the spiders.
You go, ticka, 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 ticka.
Put your dogs away, bro.
My what?
Your cats away?
Talia follows her sister, and then Khalid. Yeah, we should probably take a couple steps away, probably from this hole now. But
right,
you guys start heading to town. Obviously, it's just a little bit further down the hill. Town still desolate, but I think with knowing that you guys do have this jewel in your bag, not as creepy as when you initially walked in, but still very ominous, very again, you guys are just standing in an empty town. So
Right.
Like, it's like eerie.
Mm-hmm.
Cavino looks at you guys and just says, well, I mean, looks at his bag. So we succeeded then, right?
So we took it. We have it.
Mhm.
Should we take a
Do we know what it? What do we know what it is?
shakes his head? I mean, we can take a look at it.
I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, we haven't exactly had time to look at it.
I mean, we can dump it out if you want, but
I'm down.
Hey.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we already have it. We have it out.
Mhm.
Worst case scenario, we run from whatever decides to show up. But I think it's also, I'm an adamant believer that the more information we have, the better equipped we are.
Mhm. I agree.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I think we should at least give it a look as I go and stand behind Pierce for Val to dump it out.
So I have the bag in my hand, like I'm clutching it like my little purse. I carefully open it,
Mhm.
but close it again and say, your bag. You should do the honors of dumping out its contents. Just to,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, of course. Do you, I mean, I don't have to touch it. Do you guys want me to just like dump out and then we can take a look at it and then we can just,
Do I have gloves?
Yeah.
Why don't I just put my gloves on and I'll pull it out?
sure. And then he opens the bag and motions for you to put your hand in.
I reach in, and honestly, I think at this point I'm not like, if something's gonna happen, it doesn't matter how I grab it or anything. So I'm just making sure that I have a good grasp on it so I don't drop it.
Yeah,
And I
and
pull it out of the bag.
as you go and grab or go for like the jewel, it immediately is in your hand. As soon as your arm and your arm feels,
Enters the bag.
yeah, it doesn't feel painful or anything, but your hand feels cold for a second, almost when you enter body of water, like in a lake or like a river, or something that is just fresh. It almost feels like that level of cold.
Initial
Not-
shock.
yeah, and so it's not painful, but it just feels cold for a second, and then you're able to grab the jewel, and you're able to take a look at it. Anybody that would like to go ahead and make whatever kind of checks you would like. You guys can make Arcana, you can make History, you can make Investigations, Perceptions.
I would like to make an acrobatics check.
Sure.
What's your plus to acrobatics?
Ah,
I have a +7.
Oh, I have a plus.
I got an 11 in Arcana, but I'd also like to use my second wind to regain back some health.
Hell
So
yeah.
I'll be doing that.
I got a quick maths, 14 in perception.
14 Perception.
Mhm.
Luca?
I think I'm readying my action to get away with my acrobatics check. If something were to go wrong while we're looking at this gem, if I may.
You have an action prepared?
Yeah. I got a 21 acrobatics check.
Your quads are burning from just already springing and getting ready to do a little flip. Here's what did you get?
I got an 11 in Arcana.
11 Arcana? Very cool. And then actually go ahead. Kavino will give you the help action for Pierce. Yeah. And then Talea and Kat both roll their own checks as well.
Winning 18.
18. Cool. We'll do these one by one. Val, as you get your 14 perception, it was perception though, right?
Yes.
Cool. With a 14 perception, as you're looking at it, your family is involved in obviously jewels and mining and things like that. That's a huge part of how your family is made their vast wealth. As you're looking at it, there is something that your parents started doing many years ago, where I guess the equivalent of modern day would be like micro etching, the way that they do kind of jewels now. Not quite as imperceptible to the eye, but it is very small. And as you're looking at it, Pierce is able to kind of show it to everybody. You do notice that it does have the symbol that it's been processed through your family's minds. So it wasn't a thing that they discover, or even if it is something that they discovered, it's something that they were aware that exists out in the world. I think that's what you get with a 14. Luca, your legs are burning, but you're ready to spring into action.
Thank you.
Pierce, with what was the Arcana check?
18.
18. That will match well with Talea's 16 religion check.
Hmm.
Two sides of the same coin. As you're looking at it, there's this deep, even as someone that's not innately a magic user or a wielder of arcane magic, I think the way that Pierce understands this jewel and understands Arcana is in the same way that someone would understand, not necessarily knowing the full science of how a thunderstorm works, still knowing the effects of it and the dangers of it. And I think that's the biggest equivalent that you get with this jewel of incredibly powerful and filled to the brim with some level of magic that is crackling. Everyone in the vicinity, like you guys can just sense just the arcana or sense the magical capabilities of this jewel. And you also know that it's incredibly dangerous. I don't think Pierce understands the full logistics of how the jewel works, but you know that this thing is incredibly powerful magical item, which also does coincide with your guys' goal to gather some magical items as a lure for the pyre. And as you are looking at it and just feeling it, you feel like this, if there's going to be a trap to be set or a lure to be cast, something like this is the perfect bait. With a Catriana's investigation check was a 2 on the die, so she knows it's a valuable jewel.
She knows my quads are burning.
She knows that your quads are burning, and she knows the even with a 7, she knows the jewel's worth a lot, but that's kind of the extent of it for her. But for Talea, with her 17 religion check, she's clutching her holy symbol and looks at it a little bit, leans in, and looks at the rest of you and just says, "This is incredibly powerful artifact."
What does it do exactly?
I don't know if I understand the full scale of what it does, but it does seem to sap life from you. As you're holding it, you're fine to hold it. I think we're fine to be in the vicinity of it, but I think it's a powerful magic is a tool. I think if this was used, it has a life draining effect. It seems.
So it's off right now.
Yeah.
I think Puka's quads finally relax a little bit.
This is the thing you were searching for?
Well, I don't know that we knew we were searching for this, but I think we were
Something
searching
like
for
this.
something like this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fits the ticket for sure.
Cavino speaks up a little bit and just says, "Kids, I don't know if I think we deserve a little, at least a brief explanation as to what's happening." Because looks over at Kat and Talea and just says, "We've risked our hides for you, and I think it'd be at least nice to know what we risked ourselves for."
Right. So we are friends from Alcor. We needed to find a magic item to use it, not necessarily for its intended purposes, but as bait to lure out some not so nice people that want to destroy magical items. And we care about this because, and I look at Val and Pierce for them to chime in.
Because we are just so indebted to our country.
Go ahead and
It
roll a
gave
deception
us
check.
it is our home.
I'm gonna need a collective deception check.
Oh, yeah.
All of these will be rolled individually.
Deception. Okay.
I have +0 to deception.
Oh, +2. So I did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
We'll go from what seems the happiest to the least happy. Pierce, what did you roll?
I got a 16.
16. Val?
Yeah.
I got an 18.
18. Right
Nice.
on. Buka.
Oh
yeah. For
That
those
is going
at
to
home,
be a natural one. I think, can I describe what Buka's face does in this moment?
100%.
So Buka is telling the truth all the way up until this moment. And as soon as Val lies, Buka goes, "Ooh," and face just kind of shakes and eyes open and mouth drops. And I whisper over to Pierce, we're doing this for we love our country? Is that why we're doing this?
We love our country and our friend.
Kat and Talea share a look. But you know, I'll kind of describe Cavino. He turns around and takes a few steps away, hands in his pocket, looking up. And this whole time, you guys are still in this rain, not pouring rain, but just it's still this drizzle is still continuing. And he comes back and just says, "Okay, I think that was almost honest.
We can make it 100% honest if you would like.
I mean, it's up to you guys." But looks over at Buka. I think what the kid was saying was true. I think it looks over at you, Val. Just I think that last part was. I don't think it was a full lie, but I think it was maybe a little stretch. But
We love our country and we love the people in our country.
looks at you, people or person.
We're from there. Our families are from there. Our friends are from there.
Okay.
Pierce, would you like to add?
I feel like Pierce this whole time, like I think a lot of this was like for Pierce, he didn't really feel like there was a lot that we were doing that was necessarily needed to be kept secret.
Mhm.
So he's like kind of wrestling with the fact that he just doesn't feel like he needs to not share anything.
Yeah.
But at this point, he had sat down because he was tired.
I'll say also because again, when town is such a stretch of a word, but it's really like
Right.
some housing and stuff. There is close to where you guys had seen all those cots and everything. There is a very nice wraparound porch, but there are some chairs out there, some just traditional chairs, some rocking chairs. So at that point, you guys also could, at some point, you guys could have stepped onto the porch as well.
Yeah, and in my head that we were kind of still out in the open because we had pulled out the thing, and then after it, I just sat like on the steps up to the porch. But when Val says that, I'm gonna stand up and look at Cavino, and I think with where we're at, it's okay for us to share that this is we're here specifically at request of the crown.
Okay.
You've traveled enough. I'm sure you've been around some interesting events in different countries. And while we don't really know a whole lot of the details, I don't think it's a stretch to share the new queen of our country had an attempted assassination.
Yeah, I'd heard from the rumor mill that word spreads quickly. And so people kind of, even up north, were already talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I figured you were maybe not all the information, but I'm sure you had at least had an assassination on a queen is not exactly small news.
Yeah, I mean, we the news up north is that there was an attack on the keep, and it happened during the coronation. So you guys were at the attack on the coronation.
Unfortunately.
I whisper to Pierce, do we tell him that we're her best friends?
I hope it's loud enough for them to hear that.
Something about best friend just comes out very loud. Cavino's just like continues a little bit though, but just says, "No, I mean it seems like Destiny's got some big plans for you guys if you guys already have these kind of events happening, but sometimes we stumble upon them." I remember I had teleported in one time in Ulxa and in the middle of a civil war. So that was a weird way to start that trip. So sometimes you just find yourself in interesting spots. But no, I mean it seems you have your goal and your mission, but I think destroy magic is crazy. I think I'm more hung up on that part.
Yeah, that's
Right?
where we're at.
Doesn't that sound crazy? Like absolutely insane? Why would they want to look at your bag? And I like put my entire arm in his bag, and then I pull my arm all the way out.
Go ahead and roll a d20 for him.
Oh no.
It's not a luck check. It's literally
Okay.
like a
Okay.
numerical
We
1 through 20.
should have dumped all of it out so all of his belongings are
I
just on
know.
the
I was
ground.
thinking that so bad. I was like, no, Pierce, let him dump everything out. I rolled
Just
a
waiting for the gem to fall out.
yeah. I rolled a 16.
You, as you go and are about to pull it out, your hand immediately grabs onto, it feels like metal of some kind of like warm metal. It feels kind of like a handle of something, and you pull it out, and you pull out a lantern.
Oh, nice. This is sick.
How fitting.
Why? Wait, why were we using torches?
Why
We had
you-
a lantern this entire time?
Yeah.
You
You guys all also have
didn't share that.
dark vision, so
Well,
you
I can just see in the dark.
it.
Well, not all of us. And I look at
Why do
you.
you
And
have
the whole
a-
group looks over at Pierce.
Why do you have a lantern if you can see in the dark?
Why do I need a second spoon when I have a first spoon?
I mean,
You gave
You-
away your second.
You
spoon.
gave your away your
just as curious of a question.
I don't know. I just collect stuff.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Is this lantern magical?
Go ahead and make her Arcana check for me.
Oh,
I can also
It's gotta
just
be.
I
detect
want it.
magic.
I want it. Give it to me. +0.
Did I put the gem back in the bag?
No, you're still holding it.
As he opened it and he went in, the bag is still open. You can
Yeah, I'm gonna put it back.
if you cool.
And
Yeah,
then take
you
my
have to-
clothes back off.
You have to make an athletics check to dunk on Buka. I rolled an 8.
8. I'll say even with an 8, you don't know it's probably. You do feel a little bit because Puka can cast magic.
Mhm.
You do feel a little bit of arcane aura.
Oh, nice.
So what does it do?
I hold it up and I rub the lamp or the
It-
lantern.
It lights. It makes a light as you go.
Other than the light.
It just casts a really bright light. As you go, it illuminates, and you guys all cast in this warm glow. A light that even I mean, it's cloudy, it's drizzling out there, but especially underneath the shadow of the porch that you guys are at, this thing casts numerically a 30-foot glow in all directions.
Buka squints.
As that happens, everyone go ahead and give me perception checks and go ahead and do it with advantage.
Ooh. Nice.
I got a net 20 on my first one.
Did
Oh.
anyone get above a nat 20?
No.
Did anyone get above a 15?
Yes.
Cool. You guys immediately notice. So, Puka, you're holding it.
Mhm.
And I'm assuming you guys are in a semi-circle, kind of just having that conversation, or kind of like in a
Mhm.
circle having this conversation. For all of we'll get into the nat 20 in a second. For anyone, though, that in general got above a 15 or 15 or above, as you guys are looking, light cast out from this lantern, there are no shadows.
Dick.
As the light casts out, there is no shadow. It casts an actual 30-foot with a nat 20. Already, part of this is the magical nature of just that fact. Val doesn't know the specifics, but as you're looking at it and you're seeing the way that Cavino is looking at this item and then takes a look around, then makes eye contact with you, and then looks away. Not like in a quick fashion, but just changes his gaze a little bit. You feel like that's not the only
Magical
feature that
property.
this lantern has.
Yeah, good luck trying to see that as I'm moving the lantern side to side, trying to see if Pierce has a shadow or not.
It honestly, as you guys become aware of it, it's kind of uncomfortable because everything in your entire lives ever casts light, casts a shadow. And this doesn't.
I wave my tail in front of it. What the? This is cool.
The only thing that changes is the edges of this circle of light. The only thing that changes is that moves, but anything within the actual glow does not.
Can you like see the edge almost?
What a
I'm
peculiar
gonna leave the
lantern.
30-foot circle.
What was that?
I'm gonna leave the 30-foot circle. I'm uncomfortable not having a shadow.
You step out, and
Pierce, where are you going? I follow him with the lantern.
as you reach the edge of it. After the 30-foot glow, there is still a little bit of that, like very dim light that illuminates beyond
Right.
that, but your shadow does come back.
Right.
And it's still daytime, right?
Mhm.
Just cloudy, overcast.
That can't be the only thing that it does if you decided to keep it.
No.
What else?
Let me make a persuasion check.
While they're talking, can Buka
Okay.
slowly put the lantern down?
Yeah.
I set it on the ground and I
I got a 12 with +0 persuasion.
You just have to wait and see.
wait and see. Are we going to use it too?
I don't think it'll come up, but I'm actually kind of hoping it doesn't come up. But,
Oh. What else do you have in this bag? And I
Huh.
kind of like wander over to the bag.
I mean, I have a couple of things. I don't know. And then he starts, for whatever reason, he pulls out more. He's like, okay, there's more than 2 spoons. But he's like, I don't know. I got this. I got a mirror. I got some glasses. I don't know. I just have random stuff.
Ah.
The bag fits a lot. So I forget to clear out the bag because there's not a need to clear out the bag.
Right. I think I'd talk with Cavino about the contents of his bag for just a little while longer.
Yeah, he sits down. Like you're able to sit down
Mhm.
next to him, and then we can actually cut back into that scene in a second. As that happens, a couple steps away, you guys just sit down, and everyone's catching their breath, resting up. Kat speaks up and just says, "So, I mean, we need to rest. We can try to make it back to the Little Rats town, but I don't know if we want to rest here, if we want to head back, but
Is it already pretty late?
it's at this point it's like early afternoon. Like you guys could probably make it back, but it would be like going into the night already.
Well, that's okay. We have this lantern.
Yeah, but I mean we also need to rest.
Right.
So I
We
mean it's up to
did
you guys.
almost
We just
die
went through.
twice.
Yeah. So I mean it's up to you. It's up to you guys.
I think Cavino and I both look up. Was this Talea?
Cat.
We both look up at Cat
Cat.
and go, right, I'm down for whatever you guys decide. And I go back and start looking at the contents of the bag again.
I think taking a rest soon is a good idea. I don't know how comfortable I feel taking a rest in this abandoned little village.
Yeah, I mean we can just maybe rest here for like an hour or 2, and then I mean we'll be tired. We'll be even more tired by the time we get back. But I mean, if we have lanterns, we have torches, we can make our way back and rest, like actually sleep back at their village.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm
I
down
think
for
that's
that.
the best plan.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take a look around, make sure nothing decides to pop up. And then
This is Cat, right?
This is still Cat, yeah.
Okay. When she says that, I'm gonna nod at her, and then I'm gonna walk and start kind of wandering opposite direction of where she goes.
Like patrolling a little bit.
Yeah.
You start to make your way out. You're so used to rounds and patrols, so it throws you off for a split second when she puts up her hood, goes toward the edge of the porch, gets to the roof, and just pulls herself up, and then just away from view as she's on top of the building somewhere.
She's so cool.
Talia's like, she's so cool. All right, well, I'm gonna go inside and maybe get some food going. Val, you gonna stay out here or?
No, I can help you cook something.
Okay, yeah, let's go. And then you guys are able to get some stuff from because the horses are still in town, close to where you guys are at. So you're able to get some food from there. For Buka with Cavino, are you just looking through the bag?
Yeah, we're just looking at stuff. Is there anything that I might get more curious to look at than anything else?
A lot of what he has seems to have some level of magical items, but go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Nice.
Put your whole body in it.
You hypothetically could.
Right?
That's scary.
Yeah. Investigation, you said? With a +0, that is a 6.
A 6? I think at that point he has like the bag in front of him. So he's the one that's pulling out a lot of the items. And I think Buka just in general is very trusting, so it doesn't feel odd. It's his bag for him to hold on to his bag. And so go ahead and roll me a D, and I'll tell you the items that.
Yeah. You said a D8?
D8.
D8. 3.
3? Cool. So some of the stuff he had already shown you. One of the things that he pulls out is an eye patch. and you look at his eyes, and then they're fine. And so
Yeah.
he's like putting this stuff on your
Yeah.
lap, on your hand.
I immediately put it on.
I have this. I have a bottle of wine.
Nice.
And it's like unopened.
Do I know the vintage?
As you look at it, it has it's like faded at this point.
Oh, that's how you know it's good.
You don't recognize the
It's
name.
so old that I don't even know what it is.
It is so old that you don't even know what it is. The name of the vineyard is Vicar.
One more time. Sorry.
Of what?
Vicar of the Valley. VICAR. Vicar of the Valley.
I take a liking to the bottle because I'm picturing a non-standard wine bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's as you're looking at it, it's the glass that it's made out of is like this dark green glass. You're used to just clear looking bottles for most vintages, but this is like a dark green. So it's hard to gauge the actual color inside. But it's still corked up. The wax seal is still on it. You can just tell it's like old.
Wow.
The glass itself seems a little like scratched and worn.
From bouncing around the bag.
You don't know.
Oh, give it to me.
A dagger. He hands that to you, and it seems to be carved out of. At first, you think it's bone.
Ooh.
But as you're looking at it, you realize it's made out of a claw of like some large animal.
Like the blade is the claw?
The entire thing is.
Oh, so sick.
So as you do the math, the claw itself has to be massive.
Can I spin it? Can I spin it in my hand?
Yeah, go ahead and do a sleight of hand.
That'll be okay, I guess. A 9.
A 9? Yeah, I mean, I feel like even with a 9, you're skilled enough that you aren't able to do crazy like flips with it or anything like that, but you're able to twirl it around in your hand.
Yeah.
Perfectly balanced. And the last thing he pulls out is a hand mirror.
Sick. I think looking at Buka right now, Buka has an eye patch on, has a vintage bottle in his lap with a knife in one hand and a mirror in another, and he's just gonna hold it up, everything up like he's taking a selfie, and take a look and gaze into this mirror to try to look at himself.
As you look in the reflection, you just see you. Just a regular mirror, but
do I look good?
Look great. A little dusty from being in the mines, but also your entire group is all a little dust covered at this point. The rain has helped to an extent, but it has cleaned some areas of everybody in the group, and it has seemed to just hardened into from what was dust into mud and some other.
So I look the same as I know as I normally do.
But yeah, these are just some of the things that I pick up on my travels.
Heck yeah. With the eye patch on, do I notice anything with the eye patch?
You don't notice anything.
Do I notice my vision get worse or better?
1 or 2?
1 or 2.
Or 2. The only thing that seems that has some level of innate magic is still the lantern, but it seems a lot of what he has shown you. I'm going to make an insight check, actually.
Inside. 19?
You don't feel like he's showing you everything that's in the bag.
He's picking things that he wants to show me.
As someone that a lot of your life has been dealing with con artists and thieves and stuff like that, you know when someone's trying to distract you.
Right.
And the easiest way to distract you from something is to show you something. Because the more there is to see, the less you know.
I gotcha. Okay. Thanks, Cavino. This is awesome. Can you tell me more about this knife? And as I ask him about the knife, I hold the mirror out over the bag as if to put it back in, but I want to shine it so I can look inside the bag.
As you go and look, the only thing you notice is because you're also there's the lanterns on. I was like, I like this idea of it. I can tell you, I'll give you 2 things that you see.
Yes.
As you're looking inside, also it's this weird liminal space where you notice items, but it's not like they're just piled up in a bag. It's in
right. They're neatly organized with a Dewey Decimal System. Yeah.
it's hard to visualize a thing just kind of free floating in a bag.
Mm.
And so as you look inside, you do notice a ring. It does have a red gem that glow a little bit.
Mhm.
And you notice a book.
Nice.
It seems like an old book, like old. Though I will say the one thing that feels very unique with it is the cover seems to be made out of bark
Of bark.
Mark,
or like an old wood or something like that.
I'm not there, but
Yeah. But as Pierce is walking,
Bark?
bark, bark, bark.
He's looking at trees.
Wolf,
Woof, woof, woof.
Miss Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
It's hard to it's hard to read, but the only thing that you can make out, because this is happening obviously just in that 1
Mhm.
second, is the only word that you read or can read from like the cover of it is songs of, and then it's just
Songs of.
Today's top hits.
he's like, but yeah, so you get some cool stuff. That's what happens, I guess, when you just live for a long time.
Right. So since I looked at this stuff, I missed out on all the details of the knife.
Yeah. And he's like, so yeah, so almost lost an eye, but it was
And I put the mirror back in and I pull off the eye patch. I'm like, that's what this was for, right?
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
So
And I put the eye patch back. And I spin the knife. I'm like, this is a nice knife. Have you ever used it? And I give it back.
yeah, I mean, I've used it a couple times. I'll roll his. See what he rolls for his acrobatic. Okay, nothing super crazy, or a sleight of hand. Similar hand movement that Buko was doing. He rolled up 14. So,
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's got me out of a pinch or two here and there. I don't really use blade very often, but
Right. As we saw in the mine.
listen, I don't think I'm not always facing a giant spider.
You know what?
Just kid, listen.
It's my first one too, and we both got stuck in the goo.
Yeah.
So we're goo brothers.
Goo brothers. Yeah. Well, and then you guys are talking about like the encounter. We'll cut over to Pierce. Pierce, go ahead and give me a perception or investigation.
Investigation for sure.
Investigation.
21.
21. You're looking around. You're making sure that more of these undead don't suddenly appear. With a 21, you just notice a shadow trailing you from one of the rooftops. It doesn't seem like they've noticed you noticing them.
Doesn't seem like they've noticed me noticing them.
Yeah, like they're still keeping the same pace and distance.
Mhm.
And then there's like a point where you just reach the end of town, and then you notice that they just pause, and then they just turn back around and it starts.
But I couldn't see who it was.
You know who it was.
Okay. I mean, I figured, but
Who was it?
You wouldn't know anyways. You're not here.
Well, I'm about to open a bottle of wine. If you don't tell me, I'm not sharing.
Yeah, as you get to the end of the town, you turn back around to continue the patrol back, and you see that Kat stops, turns around, and just pauses there and acts like she's looking at something else.
As she's doing that, I'm going to stop and just stare.
Well, she slowly turns. Just a small hand goes up. Hey.
No. Can Buka?
I just shake my head and start walking again.
Oh no.
The slowest of burns.
She hops down and starts walking alongside you and just says, I'm usually a little bit more stealthier than this.
Yeah, I figured. So
This wasn't like a good no. Like this wasn't a good test of my skills.
I just assumed that you weren't trying to actually.
I wasn't trying to be.
Right. It was like you wanted to be seen, right?
We should be in eyesight in case something happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So that I can have your back and you can have mine.
Yeah. What else would it be? But so
You're back.
what's the plan for you guys?
Can I roll insight?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're back. You're front.
14.
14, which is clearly avoiding a topic, but I don't know. Honestly, this fits because I don't know if Pierce would know what she's trying to convey.
No, I don't. Even with a nat 20, I don't think Pierce would.
Pierce would just I think Pierce has gone.
He would understand that something is being hidden and it's important.
Yeah,
but that's it.
Pierce has gone through a lot of his life just getting away with a lot of stuff, just nodding. Staying quiet and nodding has worked in your favor a lot.
Good. Love that.
But are you guys heading back to Alcor when you guys are done?
I mean, I guess that really just kind of depends on what else we encounter. I mean, there's already so many things that have happened since we got here that we had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping, honestly, if you guys end up taking the jewel, I'm hoping that whatever has been happening goes away.
Yeah, I guess we'll probably eventually find out soon whether or not it has anything to do with it or not.
Yeah. I mean, me and my sister should probably start heading back home sooner. Right? But
yeah, I get that. When do you think you guys will do that?
I mean, we'll probably want to head back to the Little Mouse's village with you guys, but after that, probably, I mean, if you guys got what you needed, probably just tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, I think we'll have to figure out whether or not this is all we needed, and if we want to investigate the lake anymore, because obviously there's still a lot of things that we don't know or understand about what's going on here. So I think that'll be a topic of discussion for tonight and a decision to be made tomorrow.
Cool. Looks away and just keeps on walking. Val, as you are at this point inside with Talea, there is this like a small like kitchenette area. There does seem to be like a pantry filled with some food. A lot of it is very, very basics. A lot of like dried meats, a lot of like non-perishables. And so the food that you guys bring in vastly better than whatever is in there. But you guys are able to at least prepare like a small meal. But Talea, as she's helping make some food and you could tell is trying to recover a little bit from smaller injuries from this last fight. She looks at you, she says, "You are amazing with a book."
Thank you. That means a lot. Your sister is also really, really good. So it means a lot that you're saying that being related to her.
Yeah. Did your like mom or dad teach you how to shoot a bow?
No. Well, kind of. I learned at school. I was looking for a little, like, I guess I ran into parental figures there because I don't have the best relationship with my parents, like my biological parents. So on accident for sure.
Honestly, sometimes, I mean, I've always had my sister. I don't know if we've always had a lot of other people necessarily taking care of us. Our parents died when we were young. And so we like the town kind of helped take care of us a little bit. And we kind of took care of ourselves. And so it's nice that I'm not upset with how things turned out, but we had to do a lot of learning on our own. And so I guess it's kind of nice that you're able to actually, I guess, learn from people. But
I'm sure you guys learn from each other too. And growing up fast really forces you to learn too.
yeah, I mean, in Pine Grove, it's only a couple people, and they all take care of each other. But most people have their own families, and so people would check in on us when we were probably like 13 or 14 when they passed away. But they would check in on us. But I think we've learned how different my cat and I are, and I think that's probably been like the best thing. But do you think you're gonna, after all this is wrapped up, do you think you're gonna head back to school? Or
Yeah. Probably finish up my education, tie up some loose ends over there, and then see where everything takes me.
it feels like you don't want to end up back in Alcor, probably.
It's bittersweet coming back for sure. I did get to reconnect with Pierce and Buka, we did lose touch for a while, so that was nice. But being back home lets my parents have more of control over me, and I don't want to give them that power.
I think people only have the power that you give them. And so as long as you don't give them that, they can't take it from you. No.
That's true.
No.
Outside of the scene, can we be making like a meal that like my school parents would make me after I like had a bad like injury of like
Thel and
bow?
Darcy.
Thel and Darcy would make like a mushroom stew after I got like a really bad bow injury
Oh,
that feels just warm and good for everyone's soul and healing.
I love that. Yeah, Thel was that orc that had taught a lot of your like bow shooting, and then Darcy Cherryfoot. She's the little halfling.
They're so cute.
But yeah, no. So as you're preparing it, and some of it is that's like 90% of food that you guys had brought in, and that 10% of random stuff that are in there. As you're cooking, and then you have a small fire going, you see a small. At this point, it's probably slightly scarred, nothing too crazy, on your left arm from constantly shooting bows and just the string itself just like hitting. And so like now it's to a point where the way that you shoot is a lot more prepared. You know, you've built up a small callus there just realistically. Most of the time you actually have some guard against that stuff. But early on, I think Val was so adamant maybe about proving herself or learning or trying to master a skill that you know, to hell with it kind of energy. But yeah, immediately the as the fire is like the wood in the fire is crackling, you start to just smell like the rich just like herbs that you're putting there as you are making this meal for everybody. He just says, "Well, I'm jealous that you have such good friends that would go to this extent to protect each other and save each other."
You're here with us too now. You are probably just as close with us as we are each other at this point. So you're a friend too.
I don't know if that's a sad thing to say or not, but I do appreciate the sentiment.
It's not sad. I'm trying to be nice.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just being snippy. I'm tired but the food smells too good right now, and I'm hungry. But no, I appreciate it.
Just let Lady Atia take away your snippiness and just live in this moment.
Okay, fine. Where did you say your school was?
Stakaria, right?
Mm.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Stakaria.
Oh, I don't think you're that far. I mean, is it like further up north or is it further south or
More north. It was south. North? North.
south?
So it would be more south.
It's south part of the country, north to you guys though.
Okay, so
It's like being in Vancouver versus like the Yukon.
Okay, so how would I answer this question?
Further south.
Further south.
Oh, you're not that far from here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I usually teleport or they send someone to make sure I actually come back home. But
Okay, Miss Fancy Teleport Pants. Okay.
Hey, it's not me. It is my parents. I would rather take the long journey without people.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let everyone know that so,
Before you go,
yeah.
Does your sister have something with Pierce?
Say it. Say it. Ask her the question.
Do you think there's anything going on there at all?
Maybe.
Is he her type?
She stops and thinks. I don't know.
You've known you guys only had each other for how long? You don't know her type?
Oh, do I not know my sister? Well, I guess you should ask her. And then
I think it's the
Oh, Kalea, we're opening a bottle of wine. Come have some.
bring it over. We're making food. And then she calls out. And then for Kat and for Pierce, again, you guys are not that far away. You guys hear her calling out. and you guys are able to have this meal. And I think it's a meal that's very it's when you are tired and you're hungry and it's just quiet in the best way possible as people are just enjoying this delicious meal.
Nice.
And so just like a very comfortable silence as you guys are all just a little beat up, a little dusty, a little bloody, but you guys are able to enjoy this meal.
Yeah, I think.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
You first.
Oh, I think as oblivious as he might be, obviously I rolled decent on the insight, so I know something is on her mind. But just for the sheer fact that we walked together, I would have sat down next to her at dinner.
Like you guys walking in together.
Can I see this?
Go ahead and make insight check.
12.
12. Their elbows are touching.
Oh, I
my
take
God.
this cue. Quick logistical question. Short rest?
Short
Cool.
rest.
So I take this cue and I pull my rapier out of its sheath and I set it down. And I wave my sheath around so it kind of hums and whistles. And I start playing my flute. And I'd love to use Song of Rest with everybody.
Oh, baby. Go ahead and
Yeah, so Song
Repeat
of
that.
Rest. If you are any friendly creatures who can hear your performance, regain hit points at the end of the short rest by spending one or more hit dice. Each of these creatures regains an extra 1d6.
I love it. So go ahead and mark your short rest. So you guys can obviously use up as many hit dice as you would like, but go ahead and throw an additional d6, which I think should get everybody up to 4 for the most part.
Yeah,
I was already full health before. I didn't take any damage.
Okay,
Well,
we had a couple people that did. So
I mean, I took decent damage, but one
Cavino
is
is
a lot of it.
yeah. Cavino's thankful.
and-
So
And I already used
Thanks,
my
Cavino.
second win, so I'd already healed myself a pretty
Cool.
decent amount.
Okay, well,
yeah. Cavino's the one that was like the most like. I think part of the way that Cavino's like, because I think he was like the most injured probably out of everybody, but physically and emotionally, the way that he I think gets bolstered by this is from the bag. He pulls out a small little lute
Nice.
and just plucks along with Buka. Do you think Buka would be playing like a well-known song or like something you would hear a lot in like taverns and bars and stuff?
Yeah.
Or would it be a Buka original?
Well, as soon as I think it would start as a book original, and as soon as Cavino pulls out a lute, he switches seamlessly to an acoustic rendition of All Star by Smash Mouth.
Bam, bam. Yeah, at first, like as you're finishing up your own small little melody, he just nothing crazy, not shredding the guitar, but you see he kind of plucks along, and as it transitions over to a song that he knows or seems to like know a little bit better, starts to like do a little bit more strumming and seems a little bit more comfortable from like just straight finger picking to a little bit more strumming. As you guys are able to just rest and you guys can be here for the next hour or so as you guys get your rest in and do all this stuff, because I believe also Buka gets his Bardics back.
Nope. I need a long rest for my Bardics, but that's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. Everybody's back and feeling good, and
everyone's back at full at this point.
and touching elbows.
And touching elbows. I see that, and I'm making eyes at Pierce. I said, "Hey, now you're a rock star. Get your game on. Go play."
You're looking at him. You're like, what is he trying to? He's making a lot of eye contact when singing.
Wrong with his face.
Can I roll sleight of eyebrows?
When I roll side of eyebrows.
Perfect. Do I get bonus for having real life really big eyebrows?
I think you get disadvantage on it.
That's not how that works.
There's more to
You need
work
an
with.
eyebrow reveal?
Yeah, more to work with, more expressive. You know what I mean? Okay, disadvantage. There it
Eyebrow
goes.
reveal.
16 for the first. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed.
He's conveying something.
I'm
Okay,
so
he's
pissed.
getting my listen. Another nat one.
Oh,
Right. in the-
Matt,
Look at that.
Matt
Hey, get him out of the
20.
way.
Well, everybody else knows what I'm saying except for Pierce.
I mean, do I
that's
need to roll perception?
nothing.
No, I think
No.
you. He's like, I think it's a lot of like looking at you, looking
When she looks at you, and look at
me.
look at him.
But Pierce has also been around soldiers his entire life.
Mhm.
Ribbing each other and doing a little shit talking is just part of
Life.
life in a barrack, you know?
Daily process.
So you know, like you see this, and I think a part of you might be thinking, maybe we'll talk about this when we're walking back. But you guys are able to finish up your meal. Is there anything before you guys start heading back to Sir Gregory's village? Cool. You all pack up at least your guys' items, and there's like a point where you see that Talea walks over. You guys are in this abandoned mess hall, and she goes to as stuff is being wrapped up or put away. You see that she goes towards all of the doorposts, like inside of the building, and draws like has like a small dagger and carves in the symbol for Lady Atia on the doorposts. And you guys pack up your carriage. Manifest and Destiny are ready to head on out, and you guys start making your way back. At this point, the rain hasn't gotten worse, but it hasn't let up. You guys are still currently caught in the middle of this storm. As you guys are traveling, you guys get a sense of success, but also not knowing necessarily what the extent of what this jewel can do. Val, as you guys are traveling, Val, you immediately hear a voice that you haven't heard in a few weeks at this point. In game a few weeks. For a few weeks, you hear Darcy Cherryfoot's voice in your head. And at first part of you thinks like, wow, like I hear her voice. Because you hear like the way that she just says Val. And she's like, Val, you need to come back. Things have happened. Fel's been hurt. You need to come back.
Oh no. Am I at the reins of the horse? I think Val lets eyes start watering and a single tear falls down her cheek, which leads to many tears, and she just starts crying. And who's next to her at this point?
I think it might be one of I'm assuming, either Buka or
I think probably Buka is sitting up front.
I think I shove the reins to Buka and I just kind of ball up and try to work through these emotions. And I'm just like, here, Buka, I need something. I need to have a moment. Just please take over.
Whoa. Okay.
You do have enough experience with it that this was a message.
She sent it. She sent it on purpose to you. Interesting.
How far are we?
Like 2 weeks away. 2 weeks journey.
Is everything okay?
Someone from school who's really important to me. I heard them. It sounds like she's in trouble and she was calling out to me to come back to school.
Buka checks his ears really
What?
quick and like shakes them. You
No,
heard her?
That's not how it works.
Oh.
Yeah.
In your head?
Yes.
Do we need to go now?
It sounded urgent. I think we should head back to the mouse folk, just because we're closer to them and then we can decide from there because we need to talk about it with everyone. But it's something I would like to bring up. And I will probably I need to go, but I don't want to go alone.
Right. Sorry, Moku's barking. Can you hear him?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, yo, Moku, shut up.
Buka.
He's baby.
No, babies can still shut up.
True. Okay. I think Buka grabs the reins and scoots just slightly closer to Val and puts an arm around her while still holding the reins and says, okay, let's get back. and then we'll talk about it. And he tries his absolute best to drive this dang carriage because I don't think he's good at it yet. I don't think I'm good at it yet.
Yeah, I think Buka's decent enough that as long as there's not a lot,
Yeah.
but you hurry the horses up a little bit, and it takes about an hour and a half. So you guys are maybe closer to 2 hours, but you're finally able to make your way back as you around that same hill that overlooks this open like patch of land where you guys know where the mouse folk live. At this point, it's been dark maybe only for about 15-20 minutes. Like you guys are getting there just right after the sun has fully set, and it's still a little quiet. There's like a couple like mouse folk that do go up and greet you. All the little like baby mice are like before, but Sir Gregory, you guys are able to park the car, so it were, and you guys are able to set up similar sleeping arrangements as before, where you guys are able to set up the tarps to cover the from rain and things like that. But as you guys are finally sitting there, Sir Gregory looks at you guys and says, were you all successful? How did your journey fare? Buka,
I'd say it was
this is serious,
success,
Buka. Quit barking.
a little bit more life-threatening than we planned.
As you say that, Sir Gregory just looks crestfallen as she says, I know I should have gone.
You needed to
But
be with
you
your
also,
people.
you also made that decision to stay because your people need you to. How would you have felt had you come and something had happened here?
Sir Gregory looks at you and just says, well, I'm glad the journey proved successful. Did you find what you were looking for?
I think Val is more quiet than normal and is just kind of keeping to herself right now.
I think we did. I think we found what we were looking for.
We found what we needed.
This is cause of celebration. Wonderful. Yes, this is fantastic.
Yes.
Heroes are successful.
Yeah. Super successful. And I think I'm still like close to Val.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping close and making sure that she knows that I haven't forgotten what we need to talk about.
Cavino grabs Sir Gregory and just says, the kids did it. And he's like, Sir Gregory looks up and just says, Cavino, were you a valiant fighter? And Cavino responds,
he was a fighter.
Yep, I sure fought. I was there when our kind of pats him a little bit. I was there when our enemy fell. So
Buka
looks over, makes so much eye contact with everybody. Just shut.
Buka's nodding. Right. Mm-hmm. True. Yes. That happened. It happened. It happened. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Well, yeah, so now we can finally get some well-deserved rest. Looks over. Is there anything else on the agenda?
I kind of look down at Val, not because I'm looking down at her, but because she's smaller than me. I had to clarify. That.
Just
physically looking down at her. Always looking up to Val, but down at the moment.
Rest. That's what's on the agenda right now.
Rest.
Right on. Sir Gregory looks wonderful. Well, please gather your rest. We'll have some of the meadow guard making their round so everyone can rest easily and rest and sleep. Please, you honor us by being here, and so we will make sure that you are protected and taken care of.
Thanks, Gregory.
Thank you.
And you guys can take a long rest.
Whew. Needed that one. Meanwhile, I'm very suspicious and watching Pierce and Kat to see if they sneak away or have a night stroll. Maybe I sneak into a tree and serenade in the background. Mood music.
Sha la 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 la.
Oh, wow.
Pierce. Spiking the mic every time. Pierce, are you going to drift away
from the group?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't plan on like sleeping up close and next to anybody, but
Cool. There you
Boo!
You suck.
I mean, like at this point, what's Kat doing? I also like
You
don't really
didn't
know what
ask,
she's thinking.
bro.
Kat and
You need to
Jalea, Kat and
ask.
Jalea already are like knocked out.
Right.
Yeah, like I feel like they're already passed out. We are all like
Listen, yeah,
actually
you
exhausted.
could wake her up, you know. She didn't take any damage that entire time.
Yeah, but she's already asleep. Why would I go wake her up right now?
That was the actual Pierce response. Beautiful. Cool. You guys mark your long rest, and you guys wake up the next day. Overcast, rain has stopped. At this point, Cavino is up, and he has sun hat that he had on earlier when you guys first met him. But he just seems to be cooking up some like links of sausage and just some like little breakfast food, as he has like eggs already cooking as well. Looks over. Morning, kiddos. You guys hungry or?
Buko wakes up in a slumber and eyes half open, kind of sleepwalking. Walks over to where the food is and goes, "Yeah, I think we slept well." And grabs a plate and just kind of holds it out.
Yeah, starts piling the food, and obviously enough food for everybody. Does Val make her way to get some food as well?
I think she's gonna stay in bed.
Okay.
On her cot.
At this point, kind of looks over. He's sitting with the rest of you guys and looks over at, I think, Pierce and Buka, and just says, "Hey, is Val doing okay, or is she a little under the weather?" Or?
Not sure. I didn't really talk to her on the way back last night.
I mean, we've all been in rain these last couple of days, so maybe she's a little sick. I might have some medicine or something.
Right. If I look at Pierce, is he even making eye contact in this situation, or is he just looking over everybody's shoulders at Kat? Stop, bro. Stop. I chime in. I know she's not feeling well, but I don't think it's an illness. I pause. I think she got some news on her way back, but she wants to share it when she's ready.
Okay. We'll let her rest a little bit more then. Yeah. And then I think you guys finish your meal in just like a little bit of silence as there's like small talk here and there. But how long does Val stay in bed for?
Just up until they are done eating, I'd say. Yeah.
You wanna plate of food or?
I'm okay. I'm not really in an eating mood, but I think we should all talk.
Yeah. And at this point, kind of Sir Gregory has joined you guys as well. Yeah, everything all right, or what's going on?
So, for everyone who does not know, not the best relationship with my actual parents, but back at the academy, I made some really good connections with people who serve parental figures. They took me under their wing, and they mean a lot to me. Even taught me how to shoot a bow, despite all of my stubbornness and lack thereof knowledge. Regardless, I received a message that things are happening, bad things, and my father figure is hurt, injured. I don't know how or why or when, but my mother figure was calling out to me to come back. And it's about a 2-week journey from here, 2.5-week journey. And I think they really need me.
This is 2.5 weeks to your school.
Yes, by carriage.
Talia speaks up. Was this the ones that you shared with me yesterday?
Yes.
Val, I'm so sorry. What can we do to help?
I don't actually know. I haven't gotten any more messages from them, and I'm kind of at a loss. I know I have to go. But we were making strides for our like investigations and missions, and I don't want to take you away from the bar, Buka, longer than you need to. And Pierce, I know you want to get back to living and saying bye to your mom and going back to whatever you did in the military, but life.
Well,
I don't think we should separate either, though.
you said it's a 2-week journey by cart. But can't we just take the transportation circle when we get back to town?
How far is town from here?
About a week's journey, 5 days.
Shorter.
Then we won't have supplies.
I mean, we can bring with us what we can carry, right?
That's true.
You wouldn't be able to take the carriage or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could set.
I guess that would
set
be
the carriage up and the
faster.
horses, and I mean, it'll add some time still, but for you needing to get there as quickly as possible, it makes more sense than doing the full.
Where's the
trip.
closest teleportation? Would it just be in major cities?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's the closest one.
Yeah, Alcor is the closest major city.
No, so going back to Alcor and then teleport.
Right.
Got it.
So
Actually, hold on. Let me
Ooh.
take
Take another
my
look.
little map.
okay, but we have this item. We need to get it back so that way we can set a trap. But who says we have to be the ones to spring it, right? Once we have the item,
I have a feeling they'll want us to spring it.
they want us to
I
do
think
it.
I think we should
Well,
be,
so
but at the
your
same
guys'
time,
sorry, I mean to cut off, but your guys'
Okay.
conversation with Helena was that they were hoping that you guys would bring something back that they
Mm.
could use.
Right. Okay, got back.
So
I think for DM, here's his thinking of teleportation circle that's the closest, but also maybe not obviously directly back towards Alcor, but not farther away. So if there is one closer, we don't get farther away from Alcor, so it doesn't necessarily add as much time to getting.
So you're trying to
If
find.
we decide to take a different teleportation.
So you want to teleport from the nearest teleportation circle to Alcor, and then from Alcor to.
You're telling me we're gonna leave Manifest and Destiny to their own devices.
Oh no. Well, I turned to Cavino. We have a traveler who's been to Alcor before.
I was heading south. I wasn't planning on hitting Alcor, but I mean it's days away from where I was planning on going, so it's not.
And
it's not out of
if
mind.
he travels by cart to Alcor to drop it off, right? It wouldn't be that far out of the way. Maybe even make travel a little bit faster.
I could pay you to do this too. Half
Don't.
before you get there.
No,
and then
I mean
half.
you guys you're fine. I mean I don't mind. I think it. I mean you guys do what you have to do. As he's sharing this, he looks over at Kat and Talea, and is how far is Moonshade Haven? And Kat and Talea are like, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 days away from here. And he looks. I mean, if you guys need a transportation circle, Moonshade Haven has one.
That could work.
It used to be
So-
yeah. I mean, back in the day, it was an old there was a middle ground between Stacaria and Alcor, and so it just allowed for, I think, easier travel. So I don't know how active it actually is, but I mean, it should still be up and running. It was up and running 2-3 years ago.
So are we gonna leave the cart in?
Well, I'm thinking we can.
I mean,
we
if
can
you-
send Cavino from here to Alcor with the item. Or no, we can take the item. He will take the cart with Manifest and Destiny to drop off back at the stable. We'll take the risk with the item, travel 2-3 days to Moonshade Haven, transport from there to Alcor, drop it off, and then transport from Alcor to Stacaria.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm supposed to return the horses to, but
I can have people meet
You'll
you.
know.
oh, okay. Oh yeah, you guys will beat me there. You guys will be there before. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm supposed to meet up with my friend. It's only about a day's journey from Alcor, so
Awesome.
I think I shake Gavino's hand and I'm like, thank you so much for this. I appreciate this. Expect this when I meet you back in Alcor again. And I hand him a platinum. And then I'll hand him another platinum on the way home. Or when I meet him over there.
you don't have. You're fine. You don't have to.
No, please.
I nudge Cavino. Just take it. She's got like 12 of those at home. She doesn't need it.
Actually, how many do I have?
On you versus what you own is so different too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 12.
Is that how many you have?
Just on you. Yeah. Okay. Planet pockets it. Yeah. I mean, the girls could probably show you where Moonshade is, and then I can just start making my way down there. So I mean, I'll probably hold on to the horses and the carriage for probably like a day or two longer, just so I can meet up with my friend. But I mean, are you guys feeling okay to travel to Stakari on your own, or I guess back to Alcor on your own?
I think so.
Well, damn. This is where I guess we're parting ways.
Yeah.
It's not parting ways. We'll see you soon.
I hope so. I enjoyed traveling and getting to know you guys. You guys are a fun group.
Thanks. Hey, you wouldn't happen to have any extra of those bags, would you?
Not an extra.
Dang, it's a cool bag.
You know what? Hold on. And then he reaches into the bag, and you see that he pulls out some stuff. He pulls out the lantern. He pulls out a ring, and then actually go ahead and give me perception checks.
There we go.
13.
Come on. 30-20.
13. I'm sad.
And then what did Pierce get?
13.
13. What he gets on his sleight of hand. Cool. What did Buka
A
get?
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He has everything in this bag. He pulls out like another bag, but this one seems like an actual, like a
Right.
pack. And you see that he starts putting some stuff in there. And he's like, man, I haven't had to actually carry stuff in such a long time. And so he puts the lantern in there. I think Buka's the only one because he's doing it quickly. He pulls out, he puts what does he put? He puts an eye patch in there.
Yes.
He puts the lantern. He puts away a faded goblet or like a chalice of some kind. And he pulls out a mango and puts it in there.
A mango.
How many mangoes does this man have?
Nice.
It's the same mango.
The same one.
It's the same mango?
Yeah. He looks always like, I'm supposed to, it's for my friend. I told you guys.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting ripe. Anyways, grabs the bag and then throws it in the carriage. And then looks over at Val and just says, "Here you go, kid. I feel like you guys are gonna need it probably more than me." And he gives you a bag of holding.
Thank you. Is it mine or is it Puka's or whose is it?
Well, he didn't give it to me, so
He handed it
I
to
got
you.
it. I have a bag of holding.
I have a purse.
I have bag. And I'm Darshan.
And I can add on items bag of holding. Yeah. I mean, you guys are gonna, by the time I get to Alcor, you guys probably would have already been there and left. But yeah, just where should I go when I get there?
I'll tell my person to meet you.
Maybe you should tell him his name.
His name is Hicks. It's in the keep.
Oh.
From behind Val, I rubbed my fingertips together in the universal symbol of she's loaded.
My parents have, when I told you that people like, I didn't tell you. My parents have people. So Hicks is like the person who like, yeah.
Okay.
He reins me in.
He grounds me.
Kid, I don't think anyone can rein you in, but I'm sure he tries his best.
Tries is the word. Yeah. You'll love Hicks.
Okay.
I'll make sure he has something for you and make sure you get back. But I trust you. But just in case, he'll have some things for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the most amount of travel luxury that I'll have probably. So
it's first class. Enjoy.
I'm here for it. Looks over, just says, I think this is probably where we part ways. If it's urgent, you guys should probably get going.
I'm sorry we almost killed you twice.
Hey, listen, I've never regretted anything that I've signed up for. So didn't turn out to think the way I wanted it to, but I don't regret it. Looks over at Kat and Tille and just says, do you guys know how to get there? Yeah. And then they both know. And just Kat's like, yeah, we've been there a couple times for trading and stuff. Okay. Well, they'll guide you the way. Now that I have friends in the area, besides these lovely little Goes to Sir Gregory. Besides these lovely mouse folk, on my way back up, I'll stop by Pine Grove and I'll come in and say hi as he's talking to Talea and Kat. And so, yeah, I'll be sure to. I'll be back in the next maybe few weeks or so. But looks over at Val and just says, I'm wishing you the best for your dad figure. And so
Thank you.
things, I think things will be okay. I don't think you would have gotten the message if she knows that you were away. So I have a feeling that maybe time is of the essence, but I feel like you guys have a shot. So that's good. That's a good thing.
I'm sorry I was wrong about you.
What?
My bad. I'm sorry for misjudging you.
Wait, you judged me?
I thought you poisoned the cake. It's fine. Thank you.
Just gives you like a very almost dad hug. Just, it's all right, kid. He's like, judge me. And goes over to Buka and just says, Buka, you're funny, man. I like you. Take care of everybody. And I guess you can just look at my bag now because I guess you don't have to use the mirror this time. But
okay.
Just winks at you and walks away. Goes over to Pierce and just says, Pierce.
Yeah, I just go to shake his hand.
Full, just like predator, like Roman clasp. Goes to Sir Gregory and just says, all right, dude, I'll be back. And then Sir Gregory's like, okay, see you soon. And then Sir Gregory goes and gives him like a little like hug on the leg. And then yeah, and then Cavino picks him up and then gives him a little squeeze and just says, all right, well, I'm gonna get going because I think it's a race that you guys are gonna win, but I will try to beat you guys there.
Oh, we're racing. Buka's getting revved up, ready to go.
He puts Sir Gregory down and just says, all right, well, our paths will cross again. I think good people stay connected. So
drop safe.
Gets on the carriage, and as he starts making his way over, do you guys pack up the rest of what you guys have in your bags? And
well, I'm putting all of my stuff in the bag of holding for sure.
I have to hold all of your stuff.
I carried it for a little bit. You carried it for a little bit. It wasn't very heavy. Unless you want me.
I mean, it's a bag.
You want me to carry the bag of holding?
It's okay. I'll keep
carry the bag of holding if you need me to carry the bag.
No, I have purse.
You're right.
I have purse.
Yeah. And I'm putting all of my 3 things I brought with me into the bag of holding.
What do I have that's yours now?
I think just my bedroll. Pierce's second pair of dress blues.
With the hole in the butt.
And my scarf.
Mm-hmm.
The red one.
Mm. Literally just articles of clothing. Cool.
That's it?
Yeah, you guys brought everything else.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Talia speaks up and just says, okay, should we start making our way north?
North it is.
Yes, let's get going.
Is of essence.
And then Talia goes and starts giving hugs all of just any mouse that's nearby. Just says, Atia guide you. Atia guide you. Atia guide you forever. Sir Gregory looks over and just says, she's nice, a little preachy, but will you ever make your way back to this part of Numir?
I think so. I like this place a lot.
You are always welcome. You are my champions that I'm bound to serve forever.
Don't say that. That's weird. We'll come visit often.
Forever?
Please.
When we're passing by.
Lady Val, Sir Pierce, Buka. And walks away. But you guys start making your way north. As you guys finally exit this clearing, you guys do find the path is leading you guys up north. And at that point, the sun breaks through the clouds as the clouds start to dissipate. And that is where we'll end tonight's session. Cue the music.
Should we have kept one of the horses?
No shot.
No, because then we would.
Do you want?